feel like you're failing as a podcaster? Hey, I know, been there, done that. We all know that podcasts are a great way to reach a wide audience and build a loyal following. But like any other form of content, a podcast can fail if you don't meet certain criteria. Hello, and welcome to the show. This is the Delaware Blogger Podcast, episode number 349. And I'm your host, Antionette Blake, the Divah, aka the Delaware Blogger. And every week I come to you with podcasting pointers that will help you to share your mission and your vision by simply using your voice. Now, I drop a new episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast every Saturday at 10 a.m. And if you wish to sponsor a show, please send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com. So today, on episode number 349, I'm going to talk about the top 10 reasons why a podcast can fail and how to avoid it. So we're just going to start right on in. Not going to wait, not going to sugarcoat it, just going to give you what you came for. Number one. Poor audio quality. Yep. That is one of the most common reasons why a podcast can fail. If your podcast sounds like it was recorded in a tin can, your listeners ain't gonna stick around for the long haul. You need to invest in good quality audio equipment. And make sure you are recording in a quiet place, right? You can have a $300 or $400 mic and be trying to record outside in a glass office, where a lot of noise, barking, lawnmowers. That ain't happening. It's got to be good quality audio because that is what people are hearing. Everything, your voice, the background noise, everything. So minimize that external noise. The second reason why podcasts can fail is it's not engaging. It's boring. Listeners not going to stick around. Make sure that you are providing interesting content and are engaging with your audience. Ask questions, invite on guests, encourage feedback, right? And of course, we talked about this before, your topic. If your topic is terrible, you're not going to be enthusiastic about it, and neither are your listeners. So make sure that you are enjoying what it is that you are sharing. The third thing, poor promotion, right? Check out episode 347. I talked about podcast promotion because if you don't promote your podcast, no one will know it exists. Remember that adage, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? So make sure that you are actively promoting your podcast on social media, in forums, and through all other channels because you need to make sure that it is going to be heard. That brings us to number 4, an unclear format. If your podcast doesn't have a clear format, your listeners won't know what to expect. Make sure that you have a clear structure and a format for each show and that your title, which is the promise, you are delivering. So if the title of my show is Top 10 Reasons Why a Podcast Can Fail, then I better give them top 10 reasons why a podcast can fail, right? Number 5 goes back to your topic, uninteresting content. If your content isn't interesting, your listeners won't stick around. So make sure you're providing content that's relevant and engaging so that when you are promoting it, you know who's going to be looking to have that content delivered. And make sure it's a topic that you're excited about, you have knowledge about, that you researched. You've got to do it right in order to keep people around. Number 6, poor editing. Yeah, this is tough, right? Poorly edited podcasts can also be very difficult to listen to. Going back to that sound, right? Make sure that you're taking the time to edit your podcast and remove any unnecessary noise. I said noise. I didn't say ums and ahs. Noise. Ums and ahs are our natural way of speaking. So if you're going to be engaging with your listeners, be engaging in a human way, not an AI way. You can get AI to write your script all day, every day, but you still have to be human. So Audacity, GarageBand are just 2 free programs that you can download and you can use it to clean up. I record on Audacity, then I go and I clean up the volume or the compressors, or depending on your host. I use Buzzsprout and I sign up for an extra couple of dollars a month for some mastering. So I want to make sure that the sound is going to be good. So make sure that you are editing and not just, recording and pushing it out there. Number 7, again, going back to episode 346 where I talked about your introduction, unprofessional presentation can make your podcast fail, right? If your podcast isn't presented professionally, your listeners won't take you seriously. I mean, you can have a fun and entertaining podcast, but you be professional about it. This is your business. This is your brand. This is your legacy. So make sure that you're taking the time to create a professional presentation. Now, if your podcast is humorous or it's supposed to be negative, whatever, then that's fine. But still do it in a very, if you can, professional manner. Take number 7 with a grain of salt because it's always going to be dependent on your topic. Number 8, this is big, big, big. Consistency, lack of consistency. That's right. If your podcast isn't consistent, your listeners won't know when to expect new episodes. So make sure you're releasing episodes on a regular schedule, weekly or bi-weekly. I frown upon monthly because a monthly show is apt to be forgotten about. So every week at 10 a.m. is a new episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast. Unless I'm going on vacation, then I'll, repurpose content from before. But make sure you're consistent. Saturday at 10, Friday at 5, Monday at noon, whatever the case may be, because you never know. Your content may be resonating with so many people that they become dependent upon a new show. I know now, I'm not sure, how you feeling about your shows, coming on and not coming on in the fall, but you look forward to that. I look forward to Saturday Night Live every, Saturday night at 11:30 and have been for 40 some odd years. So make sure you're consistent. Number 9, here's another one. Your call to action, your CTA, we talked about that as well. But if you have an unclear call to action, if you're not telling your listeners what to do next, then you're missing out. Make sure you're providing them with a clear call to action at the end of each episode. Find and follow me on all my social media platforms. Follow my blog, delblogger.com. Buy my book, whatever it is you want them to do, because after they finish listening to you, you want them to find you someplace else. So make sure you have a CTA. Let them know the next episode is going to be, or whatever the case may be. Have a clear call to action. And last but not least, the number 10 reason why a podcast can fail, and that is poor SEO. Yep. Search engine optimization. We know that audio can be found, but the written word is so much better. So you should be repurposing your content. If your podcast isn't optimized for the search engines, all those little Google bots that's going through answering questions, you will not be found by potential listeners. And if you are, it may be way, way, way down on page 50. So make sure you're optimizing your podcast for SEO and using relevant keywords, right? So these are just 10 reasons why your podcast can fail and how to avoid them. 1, poor audio quality. Number 2, lack of engagement. Number 3, poor promotion. Number 4, unclear format. Number 5, uninteresting content. Number 6, poor editing. Number 7, unprofessional presentation. Number 8, lack of consistency. Number 9, unclear call to action. And number 10, poor SEO. So if you can avoid these common mistakes, you can ensure that your podcast is successful. Invest in that good quality audio equipment, provide interesting content, promote your podcast, and optimize it with SEO. And with the right strategy, you can build a loyal following and reach a wide audience. And don't get discouraged. If this is your passion, if this is what you want to do, continue. I've been at this since 2017, and my download numbers in comparison to other is not anywhere near. But guess what? I am doing the thing. I get people to say they like listening to the show. So that's all that matters to me. So I want to thank you for listening to today's episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast. And if you found anything that I've said to be of interest to you, please subscribe, share with others. You might even want to leave a rating or review too. Check out a few other episodes while you're here too. I referenced 346 and 347, so check them out as well. And I invite you to subscribe to my blog, delblogger.com, because there you'll find blogging tips, podcasting pointers, and some Freestyle Friday posts. Yep. As well as the links to purchase a copy of my Basic Blogging Tips for Beginners book and my Podcasting Your Purpose resource guide. Send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com. We can schedule you with a 15-minute complimentary discovery call. We can get you enrolled in my 5-week podcast coaching session or podcasting production. I am adding that to my repertoire. Even blogging. I talk about blogging as well. So until the next time, this is the DE Divah, aka the Delaware Blogger, wishing you and yours a beautifully blessed day. And remember, sharing is caring. So please share this episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast with your family, your friends, and your bae too. See ya. It's the DE Divah.